Well, good morning and welcome to Full Potential Fridays. My name is Heidi Denning and we are here for the next 10 minutes to give you a shot of inspiration and practical strategies to empower you and your team. I'm here with my co-host, Nina Mapson. She's coming in all the way from Hamilton Island. Good morning, Nina. How are you?
Good morning.
What are we focusing on today from Hamilton Island?
Sorry, I'm so excited to be in Hamilton Island that I can't even help contain my energy and my enthusiasm. First time on a flight in over a year, and seeing people I haven't seen in over a year. It's just amazing to be here. So yes, hello and welcome from Hamilton Island, everybody. Today we have a great topic. Today we're talking all about leadership resilience and how regardless of what kind of organization, in large organizations, small organizations, volunteer organizations, how important leadership resilience is to really set you up for that full potential that we love to talk about. And I know, Heidi, it's one of your favorite topics, isn't it?
Oh, it sure is. I'm so excited about this topic today. And I think now more than ever before, for leaders who have had this extra layer of stress and difficulty and challenge in the kind of uncertain and changing world that we're living in, it's more important now than it's ever been that they proactively put things in their life so that they can continue to be resilient enough to deal with this changing world. And of course, when they are resilient enough, there's this beautiful ripple effect that goes through down to their team members and across the whole organization. So today I want to share with everybody the resilience bucket formula that I share with leaders and teams all the time. And basically I like to have people think of their resilience like a bucket. And when everything's going great, you're on fire and if people are in flow and you've got great team members that are staying, all your talents here and staying and they're performing at their best, your bucket feels actually really strong and sturdy. But when times get a little wobbly, times just like now, our buckets become fragile. Little rusty holes start forming and all our leadership strengths and capabilities start flowing out. So what I want to talk about today is 3 of the 5 things that I know leaders need to do to ensure that their buckets stay strong and sturdy so they can continue to show up every day as the leaders the world needs right now. And the very first one of those is to be still, And, I know a lot of people think that's a bit woo-woo perhaps, but I can't tell you just up to 10 minutes a day what a difference it can make. Now, it might be that you are able to sit under a tree and listen to the birds. It might be all you can do in a day is turn your chair away from your devices, close your eyes, turn off everything and sit there put the timer on your phone and sit there for 10 minutes. Or it might be that you put on, one of the gazillion guided meditation apps. I know Fitbit said that in 2020, there was a 2,900% increase of people using meditation apps. And, when there is so much stress going on, we need to give our brains a chance to reboot. And that is the opportunity that being still gives us. Now, I would love to hear from everybody who is listening what you do every day, hopefully every day, to be still, even if it's for a few minutes. And Nina, can you share with us, is this something that you do and does it make an impact on your life?
Yeah, sure. I don't know if this counts, Heidi, because the example I'm about to give you is actually something where I'm always moving, but I think it counts because what I do in terms of being still is the way it feels still to me is I like to get out in nature. I try and walk every single day. I try and walk either in the bush or near the beach. I'm lucky enough to live near both. And I try and do that every single day. And I find that when I'm in nature, and particularly when I'm walking in nature, there's something about the rhythm of walking and being in nature where any sense of time, any stresses I have, any kind of thought patterns that are repeating, they just seem to dissipate. They just seem to go, and I can almost go into this Zen-like state. And so although I'm active in that I'm walking, I feel like it really stills my kind of very active mind and it's really good for me. So does that count, Heidi, or is that not still enough?
Look, it definitely does count because it's like a moving meditation. And when you can be doing something that actually puts you into that meditative state, whether that means that you're out, and nature, of course, is so perfect for that. So no, it is a perfect example, and what works for you is different to what works for somebody else, and that's the idea, that we all find something that works for us specifically. All right, number two is to find joy. Find joy. What brings a smile to our faces and makes us laugh out loud? COVID has sucked the living life out of the joy for many of us. So we have to be proactive to put joy back in our lives. And I think we all know that, you know, when we're dealing with our teams through screens, that is a lot harder. And so it's about, you know, what can we do to make this kind of joy and playfulness amongst our teams who are working remotely, so that they feel that they can perform better, because that's what we know will happen when people feel happy at work. You'll retain your top talent, and people are going to be more productive. And all of those things lead to a resilient organisation. So, Nina, I know you've been working across Australia with so many different teams. What are you seeing people do well when it comes to bringing joy and happiness into their teams when they're working remotely?
Well, here's the interesting thing, Heidi. I can't give you one thing, because I think the trick is that actually joy at work comes in many different ways for many different people. And as I'm talking about this point, I'd love to, for the audience that are listening, I'd love to hear from them in the comments about the ways in which they find joy at work, because I think one of the mistakes we see a lot of leaders make in the organizations we work with is they kind of focus on one type of joy. And finding fun in the workplace is really, really important. But forced fun creates stress. And so it needs to be the right kind of fun, and not everyone's idea of fun is the same. So getting that right is tricky. And the challenge is to really listen to all your people, try and find out what they want. For some, it might be a great piece of recognition and, you know, really celebrating and enjoying things. For others, it might be flexibility or the time for downtime. For others, it might be a really calm and kind of collaborative, kind culture where actually they are free to be themselves and not feel like they have to fit in. So there's different ways of doing it. And you know, the old adage is that a ping pong table and bean bags don't make a great culture, you know. So it's actually listening to your people and trying to work out the best way to make it work for your people.
I love that. I really do. And again, it's, you know, what works for some is not going to work for others. So we've got to communicate about with our team members to find out what is right for them. Which brings us to the third point, which is about connecting more. Now, I think we've all as humans realised that this connection piece is such a crucial component, and in workplaces, being able to connect with our team members and our colleagues is more important now that we're working remotely. So when I talk about this connection piece, of course, we need to find people in our lives that we can spend quality time with. That is, firstly, who is it that we can spend some quality time with, because we don't want to waste our time on just lots of kind of interactions that don't mean anything. But when we come to work, we want to have at least somebody that we can connect with at work. But what I see often that works really well is to have a connection with somebody outside of our organization, even outside of our industry, because they can bring different perspectives. And when we can have that kind of different lens on the problems that we have within our organizations, it gets that creative problem solving brain going. And of course, that helps us to build resilience, because we can cope better with the challenges that we perhaps weren't able to solve before. Nina, I'd love to know, have you ever connected with somebody outside of your workplace or even outside of your industry that has helped you show up better as a leader within your organization?
Yeah, do you know what, Heidi? I'm such a big believer in this that I'm actually part of a leadership group where we meet monthly, and the whole point is that every single one of us is from different industries, and so we sit down for half a day a month and we share ideas. And what's fascinating is that almost always, although we're all from different industries, our challenges are very similar. And so that kind of talking through them and being able to understand each other's thoughts and input makes such a difference. And in fact, it was somebody in that group that suggested to me at the back end of last year, off the back of COVID and all the extra work and the extra stress and everything that created, they had suggested that I take a weekend for myself. And as a result, I went off to the Blue Mountains, just me and my dog, for, you know, just for 2 nights, had the most amazing weekend walking in nature, as I was talking about earlier, and came back so refreshed and so re-energized, and it really changed my ability to kind of show up again and be there for other people again. So yeah, it's been hugely beneficial for me to have that connection to other people.
Yeah, it's just perfect that you do have that opportunity for other people to look at your things that are going on in your life with that different lens. And we just go back to people are talking about that being still. It's always one that people struggle with, but also know how important it is. So thank you for everybody for your comments. Sitting outside in the fresh air and having a morning coffee, Kim. Yes, I agree. That is just the most beautiful time to do that. But anyway, thank you everybody for listening. We've come to the end. I just want to recap how to build your resilience as a leader. Be still, find joy, connect more, because when you do that as a leader, not only are you building your own resilience, but you're building the resilience within your organization, because the ripple effect is so positive. And if anybody would like to find out how your team and if your team are getting to their full potential, we have an online scorecard that you can use. But if you're actually ready for a deeper dive into the professional development modules that Nina and I are collaborating together to put into organizations, we'd love for you to connect with us. Nina, what's on next week?
So next week is one of my favourite topics, Heidi. We're talking about teamwork makes the dream work, and it's all about how to communicate effectively to really kind of prevent the big issues that come up in teams a lot. So really looking forward to getting into that one.
Me too. So have a wonderful Friday, everybody, and we look forward to seeing you same place, same time, 9 a.m. on LinkedIn next week.
Thanks, Heidi. Bye, everybody.